self, sustainability. So I just want to ask, how has self-education shaped your journey, and specifically in sustainable actions as well?
Yeah, and I really appreciate that you wanted to start from this point, the point of the self-education, because everything starts from inside. There is nothing out there unless we want to consider the real beginning of everything within our inner part. So the quantum physics recently discovered that, and we will see in the future, because as we know, science usually keeps finding something new that cancels the past and redesign a new future. So we will see how long it will take. It will remain this discovery of the quantum physics. It seems that we are all living in an amazing, huge magnetic field, all of us interconnected. And it seems also that, let me say this at the very beginning, so we spoiler everything we have to. Reality doesn't exist. The only real reality existing is the projection of what we have in our mind, okay? And this is very interesting. I'm not in the able enough to say that I would know how to certificate this declaration of the quantum physics, but if it's really true that reality exists just in our minds, and then out there is a reflection of what we have in ourselves, fine, that means that everything starts from us. So talking about sustainability, before we should talk about whatever is out there, out of our bodies, or even the planet, why don't we talk about our own planets, made of our own minds, hearts, and bodies? So what is out there at the moment is just a reflection of the inner condition. So let's look at the planet, let's look at humanity, let's look at the balance of duties and rights, and let's start wondering and ask ourselves, how do we live inside? The quality of our thoughts, the quality of our emotions, the way we behave, our actions, because that's the very beginning. The beginning of sustainability and of a better quality of life starts from inside. Self-awareness, who we are, which is our aim, the reason why, the main reason why.
What is your take on sustainability? What does this word mean to you, like being green as a trend, and what will it mean for the future of business?
Yeah. Okay, actually studying the mega trends and the big scenarios of the future, first of all, you have to say that none is 100% able to say what is going to happen. I remember the day when I had the chance to meet His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, the actual Lama. I had the chance to spend a few very long minutes with him, because sometimes the time, seems very much longer than reality. And again, what reality is, but let's leave it apart for a while. And I had the chance to ask him if it was true, a sentence that he was supposed to, when we read the social networks and we read, okay, Einstein said, Mother Teresa said, Martin Luther King said, aphorisms, in that case, he was alive. So I had the chance to ask him, hey, did you really say that? And the sentence was, there are not lucky or unlucky human beings. There are just human beings who knows and human beings who don't know how to read the stars. So talking about mega trends, talking about scenarios, really means it's how are we able to connect the dots, okay, to connect the stars? Because if we have to cross an ocean, moving from a land to another one, since ancient times, we've been able to cross the oceans thanks to our capability to read stars. So everything was already in our skies. What is happening now was already designed in the sky. And the difference is made by the capability to connect those dots, who to not be able to do that. So talking about the connection of the capability to connect the dots, let me tell you that it seems, and I've been saying this for many years now, it was already 2003, since I had the chance to share my studies with some thinkers, philosophers mainly, scientists and economists rather than artists. The main question in this community has been for years, are we going to live in an epoch of changes, or are we going to enter a change of epoch? And because it's not the same, it might sound similar, but it's not the same. Actually, it's very, very, very much different. And the answer we gave was, okay, we are entering a new epoch. When everything changes, like it's changing now, really everything changes. So basically, from an anthropological point of view, historical point of view, we might say that we are facing a new change. We just entered a new epoch. And by epoch, we mean many years, okay? Hundreds of years, not the biological lives, okay, that we are supposed to count our lives on. And the very first big change was when we had the chance to use fire, okay, to start living together as a community. Before that time, and that time was when in the ancient times, females realized that they could get, thanks to a piece of wood, that element brought down from the volcans, okay, bringing back that element on a piece of wood into a cave. And they discovered that thanks to the fire, they could live a better life. Cooking the food, that means a longer life. Being safe from the wild beasts, okay, and safer from the darkness. And that is when the first communities were born, okay? The second big shift was when we realized that an amazing shape in nature, round, that we called will, put us in the condition and the capability to move from a place to another one for a much longer trips than in the past. So we moved at the beginning from being nomads into being a community. And that was a big jump, a huge jump, because until a few minutes before, someone else was an enemy. We were hunting in the same land, okay? And after a while, thanks to the fire, we could live together in the same cave. So the main jump was a sociological jump, because we decided to live with the enemies, with someone who was different, okay? Second one, wills. The communities, some of them, they started to move from a place to another one. And in that age, we had the chance to start philosophy, art, science, sales, commercial, and so on. So that was the second big jump for humanities. And again, moving from a place to another one, we had the chance to meet different communities, different from ours, okay? And again, that was a reason of will, of capability, okay? Because you must have the desire to meet someone different, trying to find the way to live in common instead of fighting each other. Now, this is the third big shift, the web. Pushing a button, you can fly back in the past, you know, or looking at the future, wherever you want on the planet, you know, trying to know anything about anyone in that, like in that specific time. So there isn't anymore, it's not anymore a matter of time or space, okay? You can be in touch with anyone, anywhere, anytime. And this is the third jump, because again, we are not ready as human beings, biologically speaking, anthropologically speaking, neuroscientifically speaking, we are not ready to face this amount of capability. Our brain is not ready yet. And our social rules are not ready yet to manage this complexity. So this is an amazing moment. Okay, and the first main drivers about the future, and the next future is going to be by 2025, then 30, and then 2050. Okay, these are the 3 milestones. The main drivers that will reshape our lives will be demography, technology, environment, and ethics, values, and behaviors. Demography, because the populations are moving in a different direction compared to the past. Not anymore from north to south and west to east, but from south to north and east to west. And this is going to be new. We will have to face unpredictable and unexpected meetings, okay, exchanges. And we'll have to be ready, because when you meet someone different or something different, you are scared. And you naturally try to defend yourselves from something and someone that you consider an enemy just because you don't know, not because they are. So try to think the mixture that we are going to have on the planet very soon, thanks to these little buttons. Okay. Second, the technology. The technology is not going to reshape the planet just from the technical point of view, but from the neurological point of view. Our brains are going to be redesigned by the uses that we will do of technology, okay? It's enough to compare a little child, 3 or 4 years old, with an old lady today to see the difference, that the way they behave, the way they interact with technology. Little children touching the screen of the television in a room, okay? Just to give you an example, and the incapability of a 60, 70, 80 years old human trying to dial, a cell phone, and so on. Third, the environment, because we destroyed 10% of the wilderness, of the richness of the planet just in the last 25 years. That's the number. And then ethic, values, and behaviors, because, and I'm ending, I still remember another amazing meeting that I had the chance to live in my life. That was the meeting with Tara Gandhi, the niece of the 4th sons of the Mahatma Gandhi. And she told me that her grandfather, the Mahatma Gandhi, used to tell her very often, Tara, the speed doesn't make the difference if you go in the wrong direction. We are living in a world that is going extremely fast. So now ethic, values, and behaviors are fundamental to give the orientation, the aim, the sense, the meaning, the reason why. If we will not put our attention on this topic, we're going to face hard times in a very close future.
And just on that, you're focusing on how a business can adapt to these 4 factors that you listed. And I know, for example, that flowy would be one of those. Can you explain
absolutely.
What that is?
You know what, there is in the business, from the business side, there is something really unexpected going on. I remember a research done by Edelman. Edelman it's an American PR company, considered to be the most important in the world. And since 2001, they used to do this research named Trust Barometer Index. So they try to interview people around the planet, asking them questions about trust, considering the 4 main stakeholders of society: NGO, public administrators, business, and media. And for years, the matter of trust was fine. By 2017, they named the research, because every year they give a name to the research. That year, 2017, the title was Trust is in Crisis. Okay, that was when the trust started to become a trend topic. Okay. By last year, this year, 2020, there was the title was The Battle for Trust. So it's already 4 years, 17, 18, 19, and 20, that the trust became really the topic, the main topic. And you know what? It doesn't matter the social profile of the people interview, the level of income, the title, the studying title, or the social position, or whatever, the age, no difference. All the 4 stakeholders were trusted only from the one half of the interviewer. So 1 out of 2 don't trust any of us, okay? As a CEO, as a governor of a county, as whoever I am, even the NGOs, they don't trust any of them, at least 1 out of 2. But the end of the research since 2017 keeps saying that business is expected to lead. And business was the only stakeholder that was defending the level of trust compared to the others that were really losing a lot. So business now has to lead the change. And now the question is, what do we mean by business? Which is the aim of the business? Talking about profit. The problem is not doing or not doing profit. The matter is the purpose, you know? So back to Flowy that you were asking me, I try with my colleagues and collaborators to design a bank which is far away from, you know, talking about business in our natural minds, talking about one kind of industry that should take care of the environment, of collectivity and so on. You don't think about finance. When you talk about finance, you think about devil, you know? And so I really believe that every system has to be changed from within, okay? As we started this afternoon, as a human, I have to start from within. Also in the business side, you have to start from within the business. That means the company themselves. So we design a bank which is 100% carbon neutral, just to give an example. We have the only and very first one credit card made of wood, is wooden, on the planet. We compensate any expenses that the customers can do in oxygen, because any choice you take has an impact on the planet. We save whales, we save turtles. We planted almost 20,000 trees in Guatemala. We ask the people to walk, to take care of their bodies, of their minds, offering them contents to study in order to become better human beings and so on. I strongly believe in education. I strongly believe in business that takes care of educational paths. So we are having an amazing success, amazing success. We launched the company by June the 16th, and in a bit more than 6 months, we already are around 600,000 people onboarded in the company, which is the highest result ever done in the history of the financial services on the planet for a new bank, a new incumbent. Just because we decided not to offer products or financial services, but to offer a perspective, a purpose, to share with the community, not a service to sell to a market. It's a totally different paradigm.
Fantastic, because obviously, as you were saying, when you think bank, you think long commutes, being in the city and making profits, and like the ethos of most corporate places are to generate money. Whereas what you're saying is our ethos.
But you know, Julian, money, it's an energy. That's not the problem. We have been educated to think that money, blah, 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 which is not wrong, because if we look at the history, we find so many stories of people who robbed, who steal, and so on. So, fine. And probably finance has not been the proper industry for a long while. Fine. So what do we do? To destroy finance? No, I'm saying we have to change it from within. And money, again, it's an energy. It's not a problem to make money and to make a lot of money. So if you're good, do it. The matter is, are you going to kill to get one more coin? Are you going to share the money that you made, or are you going to keep it just for you? Do you understand that you are part of a closed system where we are all interconnected? So the only way to become richer, nicer, gooder, or whatever is to let the system become richer, better, safer, healthier. Because if we are all interconnected, our future depends on the future of collectivity. That's it. So make as much money as you can, fine, but then consider yourself as a part of a whole. Otherwise, you will be rich, you'll be nice, you'll be famous with a lot of followers on Instagram or whatever, but you will die anyway. So the question is, how will you die? And again, what did you live for? Because eternity is not a biological approach. You will live forever in people's minds and hearts, not in your wallet. Then, if your wallet is necessary to get this kind of eternity, then fine.
And, even you yourself said, if you want to be the change you want to see in the world, you are going to face conflict. There is going to be a sense of battle there. But how can you convince people that you don't need to obtain X by destroying Y? How can you convince people, as someone has just put in the questions, how do you scale it from just me to we, that it's not me against you, but it's all of us against the problem?
You know what? I don't know what happened in the past when he decided to move from we to me. That was the problem. I mean, we've always been a we. If we could look at the ancient approach to life from a spiritual point of view, we would find any kind of civilization living their own land in the respect of the environment, of others, basically also nomads, because they know extremely well that they could survive only thanking gods, thanking the land, thanking everything, and respecting everything, because it was very clear to them that they were depending from, okay? We are arrogant. We became arrogant because we think we don't depend on anything just because we have everything, but we think we can have everything, okay? Then a tsunami comes, a COVID comes, okay, whatever comes, okay? And what happened? That we were closed in our home, in our houses, in our homes, looking ourselves in a mirror, alone with our thoughts. So we are alone. We were delivered alone as human beings, and we will live alone. But we are part of a community. We are part of the whole thing, okay? So there is not a me and the we. There is just a we. The me is a psychological construction. It doesn't exist. It's the attempt of every single human being to give a sense to himself or to herself. We are humanity, the most evolved species living on the planet. Being the most evolved species living on the planet means responsibility. That means the ability to give responses. Life, Julian, is a question. And the response is not the way we look, it's the way we are, it's the way we behave, respecting the whole at the same time. So me and we doesn't exist. The only thing existing is us, it's we. Let's live as a we, and let's try to be a model of this we for the world. We'll be eternal as singular human beings.
Do you see other people adopting this ethos of trying to build companies that think more about purposes?
Yeah, I think the switch already changed. It's hard to see the change now because we are at the very beginning. But again, let me tell you this, Julian, that to me, it's makes really the difference. As humans, we always want to see the result of our actions, okay? So the entrepreneurs want to see the profit at the end of the year. You want to see the company led by his son or his daughter, whatever. They want to see the result by the end of the day of our actions. But we should stop this wild approach, because this wild approach brought us to count every single day the number of followers we have on Instagram, brought down the capability of our attention to 1.8 seconds when we see a video. Okay, we brought down the capability to being able to remember a number of telephone that we don't even remember. We are totally incapable. We became totally incapable under the rush of seeing results by the end of the day. Why don't we think ourselves as part of a trip? We came from somewhere, we lived for a while, and then there will be something else going on. Our actions will be, our final actions will be the beginning of the next someone else's life's actions. So consider ourselves as part of something, okay? So let's not count our value on the base of a biological life that is just 80, 90 years. And we should also stop this run against the fear to become older, you know, where we see women looking like their daughters, okay? Or people who want to be eternal, try not to die, and so on. I remember Rita Levi-Montalcini, this amazing Italian scientist who died few years ago. And she was doing an amazing studies on human brains, okay? And she was asked if she was upset that she was so old, okay? And the under meaning was, maybe you're gonna die soon. And she said, I don't care about adding days to my life. I wanna add life to my days. Wow, that was super, okay? Why do you have to add life to your days only when you are 90 and not when you are 25, 30 years old? This means going deep within. It doesn't mean going slow, okay? We must run, keeping attention on the direction, on the reason why, on the aim. Then it doesn't matter if you're an economist, an artist, a scientist, who cares? The beauty of being human beings. Machines give answers. Humans wonder questions. Machines are programs. Humans are projects. We are something between animals and angels. Animals and angels. So we should look for beauty through art. We should look for good through economy. We should look for truth through science. And we should look for what makes a difference through philosophy, okay? Thoughts. Think. We should think. And by think, before we speak, I like this. Before we speak, we should think. And by think, I mean what is true, T. What is helpful, H. What is inspiring, I. What is necessary, N. And what is kind, K. Think, true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and basically kind. We need kindness. We need beauty. Beauty will save the world. Dostoevsky. Kindness will save the world.